My name is Miriam Vale. I was 35 years old and still sleeping on only one side of the bed when my younger sister
I know the
stood
timing
up at
isn't
my
great,
son's
but we need to
first
settle
birthday
this for
party
Theo.
and tried to take half of my house.
These are the finalized
The cake
papers.
had blue frosting. There was a crooked paper crown on Theo's head. People were still clapping when Celeste tapped her fork against a water glass and told her, "Broom, my dead husband, Jonah, was the father of her child." Then she held up 3 folded pages and called them his will. She said Theo deserved half of the house Jonah and I had restored with our income. Half of the life we had paid for
It just wouldn't be the same without you. I told everyone you'd be here, so please try to make it work.
Turned to watch the widow break.
Look at that blue frosting on his nose.
Not break.
He loves
I
it.
put down my plate.
Happy
looked at my
birthday,
sister,
buddy.
And said very quietly, "I understand." What I understood was not what she thought. I understood that the envelope Jonah's lawyer had handed me at the funeral was no longer something I could avoid. I understood that my grief had made me scared, but it had not made me stupid. And I understood one
Rivergate Bank.
before I ever started.
But we closed that account years ago.
Jonah
And this
had
signature,
seen something coming
it's not
long
mine.
before I did.
This is the last
Welcome
will
back
and
to
testament,
Calm Drama
along with the
Story,
deed and a
where
notarized
quiet
declaration.
people let proof speak louder than panic.
Miriam, if you could just sign here, it would make things easier.
I
don't know, Celeste. This is too
Stay
fast.
with me tonight. Tell me where you are listening from and subscribe so the next story finds you. Before there was a birthday party. There was a funeral with coffee gone cold in a church basement and neighbors speaking to me in the careful voices people use around fresh grief. Jonah was 42. He died on a Thursday morning with a half-finished tax
He loved this
file open
elephant
on his
very
desk
much.
and a mug of coffee
And he
going
loved you,
stale
Theo.
beside his keyboard.
Always
He'd
remember
spent
that.
15 years as a forensic tax accountant, the kind of man who labeled boxes, saved receipts, and kept copies of copies because he believed that facts were a form of kindness. I was an emergency nurse, 11 years on the night shift. My hands were steady because they had to be when a man came in with a chest wound.
This doesn't
or
match
a
the
mother
previous
screamed
documents.
in
The dates are all
hallway.
wrong here. It's exactly what he
Everyone
wanted.
looked
You
for the
can't deny it.
calmest person, and
I don't think this
too
is gonna hold
often
up, Celeste.
that was me. So at Joan's funeral, I shook hands. I thanked people. I packed leftover
Nolan,
sandwiches
you have to
into
preserve the
foil.
phone. Give it to me,
I did all
hurry!
the things a body can do when the heart inside it has no idea how to continue.
Therefore, the assets
After
will
the
be
graveside
divided as
service,
stipulated in the
A
codicil.
woman I barely knew
Miriam,
pressed a white
please, you
envelope
can't
into
do
my
this to
hand.
us.
She introduced herself as Marisol Keene, Jonah's estate attorney. I did not know he had an estate attorney separate from the basic will we had signed years before. On the front of the envelope, in Jonah's small square handwriting, were the words for Miriam, "If the house is ever questioned." I put it in my purse and did not open it. That is the part people later judged. Why didn't you open it?
What a
right
beautiful cake.
away?
Go on, blow
Because
out the
grief is
candle.
not always dramatic.
Yay, happy birthday!
Sometimes grief is a kitchen where you
Here are the
cannot move
documents
your
we
husband's
discussed.
coffee cup.
Everything is in order.
Sometimes it is a sealed envelope.
Is that really
you're
necessary
too
right
tired
now?
to let hurt you yet. Jonah and I had built the house on Sycamore Lane from something almost everyone else had given up on. It was a 1918 brick bungalow with rotted porch columns, cracked plaster, and a basement that smelled like wet newspapers. We bought it when we had more optimism than money. For 6 years we spent weekends sanding floors, scraping paint, arguing about and eating cookies. On a blanket,
I completely understand if you can't make it this year, dear. But your grandfather is asking about you constantly, and it might be his last Christmas.
Every hinge, every paintbrush, every nail. I used to tease him for the way he treated our house like a balance sheet with shutters. He would smile and say, One day you will be grateful I can prove what belongs where. I thought he meant the contractor receipts. Time equals, quote, 0.75 seconds. Quote slash greater than I did not know what he meant. By the time he died, the mortgage was gone. The garden was finally coming in and the house had been valued at $940,000 by an agent who left a card in our mailbox every 3 months. To me, it was not $940,000.
I understand this is difficult, but signing this releases the house. It's a clean break for everyone. I need more time to think about it.
The kitchen window where he grew basil. It was our wedding photo on the mantel, taken on the porch before the porch was even safe to stand on. We had no children, not because we had never talked about them, but because life and loss had made that decision complicated. We had made peace with a quieter family. That peace was one of
This
the
was your
things
father's
Celeste
favorite when he was
tried to
little.
use against me.
He wanted you to
My
have it.
sister Celeste was 32, 3 years younger than me, and she had always been able to turn panic into theater. As a girl, she could break a lamp.
I think
and
we need to
still
look at
make
the
a
terms of the
story
trust,
about how
Lillian.
frightened she'd
Right
been
now.
when the glass fell.
Celeste,
My
this is
mother,
hardly the time or
Lillian,
place.
believed Celeste was fragile in the ways some people believe weather is inevitable. You prepare for it. You
I
excuse
told
it.
you, this is the valid will.
You
These
build your
dates don't
whole
align,
house
and the
around it.
signature is questionable.
Celeste had a son
You're just
named
trying to
Theo
undermine
with a man
everything.
named Nolan Price. Though their relationship changed labels depending on which bill was due. Sometimes Nolan was her ex.
Nolan, you have to preserve your
Sometimes
phone
he
right
was
now.
kind.
Give it to me.
Sometimes he was not allowed in the house. Sometimes he was
Please, you must
standing in
reconsider. We have nowhere
my
else to
mother's
go.
The
kitchen
terms are
like he
explicit.
owned the air.
The property must be
Celeste
vacated
owed
within
money
30 days of the
everywhere.
settlement.
Cards, payday loans, a storage unit, a landlord who had finally stopped being patient. I knew pieces of it because my mother knew how to make other people's emergencies feel like family assignments. She would call me after a shift and say, "Your sister just needs a bridge. Miriam, time equals quote 0.25 seconds. Quote slash greater than just until she gets settled." But after Jonah
Did you see the way she looked at
I
Lillian?
stopped answering
Right.
those calls so quickly.
And on his birthday,
I was
too.
not cruel.
The
I was
nerve.
tired. 3 weeks after the funeral,
I think
my
you'll want to
mother
look this
called
over,
with a
Lillian.
voice so soft I
It
should have
concerns
been
Theo's
suspicious.
future.
"Come to Theo's birthday," she said. "Celeste wants to heal. The family needs to be together." The family, that phrase was my mother's favorite locked door. I said yes because Theo was one, because Jonah had loved children, and because I still believed a birthday cake could not be a trap. The platter was in my mother's kitchen, the same kitchen where we had grown up doing homework when we were coming up. There were
Oh, honey, you
balloons
simply have
taped
to come this
cabinet
weekend.
handles and
Your
a
father is
plastic
just beside
tablecloth.
himself, and you know how his
Printed
heart
with
gets when he's
little blue
stressed.
trucks.
We miss you.
Theo sat in a high chair wearing frosting on one cheek and a paper crown sliding over one eye. He was sweet, and that mattered. I need you to remember that. The child at the center of my sister's lie was not the lie. He was a baby, banging a spoon against a tray, laughing at the sound. My Aunt Denise was there, along with 2 cousins, my mother's neighbor, and 3 people from Celeste's church group, who had clearly been invited to make the room feel full. Nolan leaned against the refrigerator, with his arms crossed and a smile that kept arriving too late for the moment. My mother watched me the way
If you
a
just sign
nurse
these
watches
papers,
a
we can
monitor,
finalize the transfer of the house
waiting for
rights.
the
It will
change.
make things easier.
I helped
I don't know,
with the
Celeste.
cake.
This is still my
I
home.
gave Theo a wooden elephant puzzle and a small savings bond, because Jonah had once told me every child deserved one boring adult who thought about the future. Then my mother lifted a glass and said Celeste had something important to share. Celeste stood, smoothed her yellow dress, and began to cry before she had said enough to earn tears. She said Jonah had loved Theo. She said he had promised to take care of his son. She said grief had been hard on everyone, but truth could no longer be hidden. Then she turned to me and said, "Miriam, I am sorry you
Hi,
had to
Lillian.
hear it
Thanks
this
so much
way."
for having us. The house smells
She was
wonderful.
not sorry. She had arranged it
This
precisely
folder contains
this way.
the evidence, Mother.
The room
We know
changed
you
when she
forged the
said Theo
signatures
was
and
Jonah's
stole from the
child.
trust.
People did not gasp. Gasping would have been too honest. They went still in that hungry way crowds do when they sense a public
This
break-in.
signature here on page 3 is
Celeste
clearly
held up a
forged,
paper with a
Celeste. It is
notary
not
stamp at the
forged. How
bottom.
dare you
And
accuse me of
Nolan
this?
pushed
The will
date
is
in
completely valid.
refrigerator as if he were ready to catch applause. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote / greater.
Nolan,
end quote.
listen to me.
Jonah wrote this
Preserve
before
the
he
phone.
passed.
It's evidence.
Quote. She said, "Why he wanted his son."
The terms of the
protected.
agreement state that the
Half
house
of
remains in the
Sycamore
trust
Lane
for 10
belongs to
years.
Theo.
Miriam,
And as
please,
his
you can't
mother,
do this to
I will
us.
manage that share until he's grown. My mother looked at the floor, which told me she had heard this before. Aunt Denise pressed her palm to her mouth. One cousin whispered, "Oh my God!" I looked at the paper from 10 feet away and saw nothing except the wrongness of it. Jonah's papers were never loose. Jonah did not fold legal documents into quarters and carry them beside birthday candles. But grief is a cruel room. For 1 second, 1 human second, I wondered if there had been a piece of my marriage of my own.
Happy birthday,
Then the
Lillian.
second,
Here are the finalized
Ah.
documents for the trust.
I remembered
Did you
Jonah's
really think this was
envelope.
appropriate today?
For Miriam, if the house is ever questioned, I saw Celeste watching my face, hoping for a collapse she could turn into confirmation. So I gave her nothing. I rinsed my plastic fork in the sink, kissed Theo's sticky forehead and told him happy birthday. Then I picked up my purse and walked out while my mother's kitchen filled with the sound of people realizing the show had ended before the screaming started. In the
You
car,
absolutely have to come
my
for
hands were
Thanksgiving.
steady on
The
the
family
steering
just
wheel,
isn't the same
but my
without you.
chest
It would just
felt
break my
horrid,
heart if you didn't show
like
up.
someone had taken the furniture out of a room and left the lights on. I did not drive home immediately. I sat in my mother's driveway and opened Jonah's envelope with my thumbnail. Inside was a single card. Not a letter, not an explanation. Just Jonah's writing, neat as always. If someone challenges Sycamore Lane, do not argue in a kitchen. Call Marisol. She has the sealed file. I read it 6 times. My husband had died, and still he had managed to put one more instruction in my hand. Do not argue. That was Jonah. He knew what family arguments did. They turned
Miriam,
truth into
I understand how
volume,
difficult this
and
is, but
volume
signing this
into
tonight will
fatigue,
resolve
and
everything.
fatigue
All right, give me the
into
pen.
Surrender. I drove home to the house Celeste had just tried to divide like a cake. The porch light came on automatically when I crossed the steps. Because Jonah had installed a sensor after I came home from night shifts in the dark. I stood under that light, holding his card, and finally cried. Not because I believed Celeste, but because Jonah had loved me carefully enough to prepare for the day someone would use my grief as a door. My phone began buzzing before I had taken off my coat. My mother first. Please do not make this ugly. Celeste was desperate. Think of the baby. Then Aunt Denise. There must be a way to honor everyone.
This folder contains the
Celeste,
proof, Mother.
I know you're hurt.
You can't deny it
but
anymore.
Jonah would want you to be fair. Fair. It is amazing how often people use fairness when they mean surrender. I did not answer that night. Silence
This is the
dangerous
valid
when
will.
people
My mother
expect
signed
you
it.
to perform.
It is
They
clearly
fill it with
forged.
their own
Look at this
assumptions.
signature right
By
here.
morning, my family had decided I was considering a settlement. Celeste sent a photograph of Theo asleep with the caption,
Nolan,
He deserves
listen to
what
me.
his father
You have to
left
preserve
him.
the phone. Whatever you
My
do,
mother
do not
called
let them
at
touch
8
it.
and
Go,
again
now.
at 9. I let both
The terms of the
calls
agreement state that the property
to
must be sold within
voicemail.
90
At
days.
10, I
Miriam,
called
please, you can't
Marisol
do this to
King.
us. Where will we
Her
go?
receptionist put me through so quickly that I knew Jonah's name was already marked in red somewhere. Marisol's voice was calm, older, and very awake. "Miriam," she said, "I wondered when we would meet." I told her my sister had produced a will and claimed her son was Jonah's. Marisol did not sound surprised. She asked me whether anyone had filed anything with probate. I said no, not yet. She said, "Good, then we still have the advantage of timing."
Happy birthday, Theo.
She scheduled
I thought
me
this
for
would be the
next
perfect time to
morning and
finalize
told
the
me to
custody
bring the
agreement,
paper if
Nolan.
I could
Are
get
you
a copy,
serious right now,
but
Celeste?
not to demand it, not to fight for it, not to alert anyone that I knew there was a sealed file. Let them believe they are ahead, she said. People who believe they are ahead are generous with mistakes. Before we hung up, I asked her the question I was afraid to ask. Did Jonah know about Celeste? Marisol said, "He knew enough about this?" She said, "He did not know every name."
Oh, darling, you simply
built the
must come
file
this
so you would
weekend.
not have
It
to
just wouldn't be
prove
Christmas
yourself while
without you, and you
grieving.
know how fragile your father's health
I
has
sat at
been.
my kitchen
He
table after the
absolutely
call
loves
and
the
looked at the card
frosting.
again.
I can't
Do
believe
not
he's
argue
already
in the
won.
kitchen.
Happy
I wrote it on a
birthday, little
sticky note
guy.
and put it on the refrigerator. Celeste brought the fake will to my porch that evening as if she had bringing soup to a sick person. Nolan stayed in the car with the engine running. She wore soft clothes and a softer voice. "I don't want court," she said. "I don't want Theo dragged through anything. If you sign the house into both our names, we can sell quietly and split the proceeds. You can start over somewhere that doesn't hurt so much."
This is the original will, the grant
That was
deed,
the
and the
first
notarized
line that
declaration
made
of
me
trust.
angry enough to feel
The sealed
warm.
instructions are
She was
inside this
standing
envelope.
on my porch,
Here's the pen, Miriam.
offering to help
We
me
talked about
recover
this.
from the house
It
she
will
wanted
ensure
to take.
everything is taken care of, just like we
I asked
discussed.
for a copy of the will. She hesitated just long enough to tell me she had been told not to give one. Then she handed over a folder because greed is often impatient. I thanked her. I thanked her so calmly she looked disappointed. After she left, I opened it under the bright kitchen light. The document was not merely false. It was careless.
Your dad loved this elephant very much. He wanted you to have it.
Closed 5 years earlier, it listed our home as apartment 2C on Sycamore Lane.
Here
Though
are the
the house
documents,
had never
Lillian.
been
Everything is
divided
clearly
into
laid out.
apartments,
Celeste, must we do
it
this right now?
called
She's right,
Jonah
Mrs. Rowe.
Jonathan D.
It's time to face the
Vale
truth.
with an I instead of an E, a mistake he hated because it followed him through school records. And the signature was beautiful.
I am
in the
telling you,
way a
this is the
forged
valid will. These
signature is
discrepancies
beautiful.
prove it's a forgery,
Too
Celeste. Look at the
patient,
date.
too
Celeste, this isn't looking good.
drawn, all shape and no breath. On the witness line was Nolan Price's name, printed under a signature that
Nolan,
leaned
you have to
hard
preserve
the
your
right.
phone. Don't let them see it. Go,
I
quickly, before they
photographed
realize.
every page, front and back. Then I placed the folder beside
The conditions
Jonah's
state the
card
property
and
remains
slept
under the trust
3
for 10
hours,
years.
which was better
Miriam,
than none.
please, you can't do this to us. We have
Marisol's
nowhere
office
else to
was on
go.
the second floor above a bakery that smelled like butter and sugar, which made the seriousness of the meeting feel almost rude. She was a small woman with silver hair cut close to her jaw, black glasses, and the stillness of someone who had spent years watching other people panic. I handed her Celeste's folder. She read it once without changing expression. Time equals, quote, 0.45 seconds, quote / greater than. Then she removed her glasses and said, "This is not a will. This is evidence." She pointed out the closed bank, the wrong address, the misspelled name, the witness line. Then she opened her desk drawer and took out a thick, sealed file with my name on it. The label was Jonah's handwriting. Inside was the real will, signed 18 months before he died. Properly witnessed, already filed in probate, leaving everything to me. There was the deed for Sycamore Lane, showing no rooms and no outside interest. There was a notarized declaration stating Jonah and I have no children.
I completely understand if you can't make it, sweetie.
No child
But
or
your grandmother was
potential heir
asking
outside
specifically
marriage.
about you, and I wouldn't want her to be
My throat
disappointed.
tightened at that sentence. Not because it hurt, but because I recognized his mind in it. Careful, kind, anticipating the ugliness.
Oh, come
so
on,
I
you
could
know that's
survive
not
it.
true. I told you exactly what
Beneath those
happened.
documents
Well,
was a
we heard
small
differently.
green envelope. Marisol placed her hand on it before I could reach. He asked that you open this only if someone specifically claims biological paternity. She said in it. Not before. It will mean more at the right moment. I wanted to open it immediately. I did not. I had trusted Jonah in life. I would trust his
Here we
order
have the
now.
last will and testament, the
next
property
5
deed,
days
and a
were
notarized
lesson in how
declaration.
quickly
This
a
sealed
family
envelope was
can
included with
become a public
instructions.
relations
I know
team
this is difficult,
when
Miriam, but
truth
if you just
threatens
sign
the
right here, we
story
can
they
take care of
prefer.
everything tonight.
Celeste posted
It's just hard to
first.
let go.
No names, of course. Just a photograph of Theo and a paragraph about widows who hide a dead man's wishes and children who lose fathers twice. My mother commented with a broken heart. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote / greater than Aunt Denise commented with praying hands. People who had eaten at my wedding wrote that every child deserved support. Nobody asked why the alleged will named a closed bank. Nobody asked why the alleged father had never mentioned a child to his wife, his attorney, his doctor.
The house looks
or the
lovely this
court.
afternoon. It
My
does.
mother called me every night.
I can already smell the spices from here.
Give her something, she pleaded.
This folder contains
Not
the
because she
evidence,
is
Lillian.
right,
We
because
can't
the
ignore
baby
this
should
anymore.
not
The house is
suffer.
at risk.
I understood the power of that sentence. It tied my hands with a child's innocence, but Theo's innocence did not make Celeste truthful.
This is exactly what she
love a
wanted, I
child
swear. It's
without
completely
finding
valid.
out.
These dates are
I
inconsistent,
told my mother
Celeste.
I would not
And this signature
discuss
is clearly forged.
the house without Marisol present. Her voice went flat. We are family. We do not need lawyers.
Nolan,
I
listen to
almost
me.
laughed.
Whatever you
We had
do,
not
you
needed
have to
lawyers
preserve the
when
data on
Celeste
that
stood in
phone.
the
It's
kitchen and
evidence.
accused my dead husband. We
The
only
terms are
needed
clear.
lawyers now
The
that I
property
had
remains
stopped
in trust for 10
cooperating with
years.
the accusation.
Please, Miriam, reconsider. We have
Meanwhile,
nowhere else to go.
Celeste's messages shifted from soft to sharp. She wrote that probate deadlines were coming, that if I forced her to file, everyone would know I had tried to raise a fatherless boy. I saved every message, not because I wanted revenge, because proof needs a place to live. The text that changed the temperature came from Nolan. I had not heard directly from him in months. It arrived on a Friday afternoon while I was in the hospital supply room, counting syringes because my hands needed something exact to do. He wrote, just sign Sunday.
I knew this
and
is
it's always
sudden,
easy.
especially today,
And
but
handled the witness
I thought it
part.
was time we made things
So the
official
will
regarding
is
Theo.
signed. Celeste is stressed. Don't push her. I read the message twice. Then I stepped into the medication room, closed the door, and took 3 screenshots with the timestamp visible. I emailed them to myself and to Marisol with the subject line, Nolan admission, handled the witness part. Those 5 words were not a confession in dramatic setting. Who could have told I forged a will?
We're having a small dinner
People
on
rarely
Sunday.
confess in
I just
useful
couldn't bear it if you
sentences.
didn't come. Honestly, it
He
might ruin the
placed
whole
himself
evening for your
inside
grandmother.
The execution of a document my husband never wrote. He admitted involvement in the witness line. He gave Marisol a handle. She called me within 10 minutes. Do not reply, she said. Yang let him think the message landed as pressure, not evidence. I told her Celeste had demanded a family dinner Sunday, one last chance before she filed Monday. Marisol was quiet for a moment. Then she said, then we should attend, not fight, not confront, attend the way you attend a hearing. Time equals quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote slash greater
Miriam,
than I
please,
went
if you could
home
just
after
sign
my
here,
shift
it would make things so much
and looked
easier
at
for
the clean
everyone. I don't know if I
envelope on my
can,
table.
Celeste. This is my
For
home.
the first time, I understood what Marisol meant by the right moment. If Celeste stood in front of the family and claimed biological paternity again, the envelope would answer not as gossip, but as record. I opened the cream envelope Sunday morning at 7, with coffee going cold beside me and sunlight just beginning to touch the kitchen floor. Inside
He would have
was a
loved
note
watching
in
you
Jonah's
play with this,
handwriting
Theo.
and 2 medical pages. The note said, Miriam, if someone is claiming I fathered a child, I am sorry you have to read this in pain.
I told you we needed
I
to
had a
discuss this.
vasectomy
This
in
folder contains the only way
2021
forward. Celeste,
after
not
we
tonight,
decided
please. It has to be
privately that our
tonight.
family would be there. 2 of us. I kept the proof because I knew people could twist silence into opportunity. You
This
do not
entry on
owe
page
anyone
4
an
is clearly
argument.
backdated. The
Hand
ink
them the
signature
date.
bled into the fibers. That's
I love
absurd.
you.
He signed it right in front of me.
I
You
sat
can't prove
very
otherwise.
still. The medical record showed the procedure date, September 2021. The follow-up lab report.
Nolan,
8 weeks
you
later,
have to preserve your phone.
confirmed.
Keep it safe. It's the
A
only
used
proof we
sperm
have.
donor. No sperm present. Theo
The
had
property
been
will be
born in
transferred upon the
April
fulfillment of these
2025.
conditions, effective
Conception
immediately.
would have been
All
summer
parties must vacate the premises
2024.
within 30 days.
Nearly 3 years after Jonah's confirmed sterility, there it was, clean and devastating. A date against a date. A lab result against a birthday candle. I cried then, not softly. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote slash, greater than I cried, because Jonah had carried a private medical fact. He had never wanted to burden me with and had still kept it where it could protect me.
I hope you're enjoying the
Cried
party,
because
Miriam.
Celeste had made me doubt
You seem a
my
little
marriage
distant.
For 1 second. And now Jonah,
I think it's time we
dead and
finalize
still
this,
careful,
Nolan.
had given me that
Are you
second
really
back.
doing this right now,
Then
Celeste?
the nurse in me took over. I made 3 copies at the pharmacy. Placed 1 set in my folder, 1 in my glove box, and 1 in the fire safe. I texted Marisol. I opened it. She replied, bring it. Let them speak first. Before I drove to my mother's house, I made one decision that had nothing to do with her. It had to do with Theo. I stood in the living room of the house, Jonah and I were
It's just a
and
small
looked at the
get-together,
wooden
but
elephant puzzle I had
honestly,
bought
if
for
you're
a
not
little
here,
boy who had
I don't
been
think I can
used as a
face the rest of the
stage prop
family.
by adults. Theo had not chosen Celeste's debt. Nolan's signature. My
Another
mother's
one.
fear, or the lie about
You're trying to get
Jonah.
me drunk.
He had worn a paper crown
Cheers,
and
everyone.
smashed cake into his hair. I decided I would protect Jonah's name completely. I decided I would protect my home completely. And I decided I would not punish a child for the way grown people tried to weaponize him. If the truth cleared the room, I would still create something for Theo later. A small education fund under my
As
control.
executed, this is the last
No
will,
access
the
for
property
Celeste,
deed, and a
no
notarized
legal
declaration.
admission, no
This
silence
envelope must remain
purchase,
sealed for now.
not because I had
Miriam,
been
signing
forced,
this now is the
but
smartest
because
thing
I
to do.
wanted
It protects
to be the
everyone.
kind
But
of
this is my
person
home,
Jonah
Celeste. I
had
don't know if I
married.
can.
I wrote that
Just
on
sign
a
here.
notepad and put it in my purse. Truth first, kindness second. Both on purpose. That note mattered. At dinner, pressure would come dressed as compassion. My mother would cry. Celeste would point to a baby. Relatives would stare. Without the note, I might confuse kindness with surrender. With the note, I could remember the order. I put on the same navy dress I had worn to the birthday party. Not for symbolism. It was clean, it fit, and I liked the idea of walking back into the same
So glad
room in the
everyone could
same
make it
colour
today.
and leaving with a different ending.
Yes, it's
Sunday
been far
dinner
too long
smelled
since
like
we all
pot
sat down
roast and
together.
cinnamon candles.
It's all right here in the
smell
folder,
my
Aunt
mother
Lillian.
seemed
We need
to
to settle
relieve
this
could
now.
soften any
Celeste, please,
accusation.
not tonight. We have
The
guests.
room
This isn't the
was
time.
fuller than a normal family meal. Aunt Denise was there. 2 cousins. The neighbor who ran the church rummage sale.
I told you,
Nolan
this
by
is
the back
absolutely the
door.
final version. It's
Celeste
completely
at the table
valid.
with
This
her.
signature here is clearly
Folder
forged,
already
Celeste.
placed
We
in
both
front
know
of her
it.
like a weapon. My mother fluttered between kitchen and dining room. Too bright, too anxious. Wiping surfaces that
Listen
were already
closely.
clean.
Preserve the phone, Nolan.
Theo
Keep it
was
safe.
asleep in
I
the
understand.
den, thank God. I arrived with Marisol at my side.
The remainder of the
changed the
estate shall be
air.
divided
People
equally,
had
provided the
prepared
terms
for
are
a
met
widow.
within 9 its
They had
days.
not prepared
Miriam, please,
for
you can't do this to us.
counsel. Celeste's mouth tightened when she saw the briefcase. Really, Miriam? She said. You brought a lawyer to family dinner? Marisol smiled politely. You brought a legal document to a birthday party. I assumed documents were welcome. I almost loved her for that, though my face stayed still. My mother whispered that we could all be reasonable. Celeste stood before anyone sat.
Miriam, darling, we were
Because
starting to wonder if
performance
you'd show up
requires
at all.
a state.
Oh, traffic
She
was
repeated
dreadful,
the claim.
Lillian. But
Theo
look at the
was
cake.
Jonah's child.
I brought the paperwork
Jonah
we
had
discussed.
left a will. Half
I
of
think this is fair for
Sycamore Lane
everyone
belonged
involved.
to her to manage for her son. She said she would file the document Monday if I refused to do what was right. Then she looked around the table for support, and she got it. Nods, murmurs, my mother's wet eyes. Everyone turned to me again. This time I did not rinse a fork. I opened my folder. Marisol began with the real voice. She did not raise her voice. She placed the certified copy in the center of the table.
Oh,
and
honey, you
explained that
simply
Jonah's
must come for
valid will
Thanksgiving this
had
year.
already been
It just
filed
wouldn't
with
be the same
probate,
without you, and you know how much your
executed
father is
18
struggling.
months before his death. Witnessed by 2 unrelated parties and recorded properly. It left the entire estate to me, not because Jonah got it. Anyone, but because he had stated his wishes clearly. Celeste shook her head before Marisol finished. That's not the one he gave me. Marisol turned to her. Then let us examine the one you have. Celeste slapped her paper down. Her confidence returned for exactly 9 seconds. The time it took Marisol to point to the dead bank account. The wrong address.
Everything is in order, Miriam.
Misspelled
This sealed
legal
envelope
name,
contains the
and
final
the witness
instructions.
line bearing Nolan
Miriam,
Price's
I know this is
signature.
difficult, but
A
signing this
false
over will
will
protect you in
submitted
the
to
long run.
probate is not a
It's just
family
temporary.
disagreement, Marisol said. It is potential fraud. A false witness signature may be forgery. Anyone encouraging submission should understand that before tomorrow morning. The room pulled back from Celeste without moving their chairs. It was visible, the retreat of people who had been eager to judge a widow, but not eager to stand near a felony.
He would have loved
Nolan's
seeing you
face
play with
lost
this,
colour.
Theo.
Celeste said the will did not matter because blood mattered more. She said it loudly, desperate now. Theo is his son. You cannot erase
We need to
that.
settle this now,
That was
Aunt
the
Lillian. The
sentence
money
he
is
had.
gone, and I have the statements right
Waited
here.
for
This is not
and
the time
reached
or
for the
place,
medical
Celeste.
folder. My hands were steady. Of course they were. I had spent 11 years learning how to hold steady while someone
The
else's
dates here are
life
inconsistent with the
changed
witnesses.
on
This is a
paper.
forgery. How dare
I
you?
placed
This is
Jonah's
exactly as my
medical
father
records
intended.
beside
I don't
the
like where
2
this is
wills.
going.
The table looked suddenly small beneath all that truth, I said. This is from Jonah's urologist.
You must
Procedure
secure the
date,
phone, Nolan.
September
Do not let them take
2021.
it. Preserve the
This is
data.
the follow-up lab report 8 weeks later. no
The
sperm
conditions
present.
state that the trust will be dissolved
I did not
immediately.
explain what that meant.
Please, Miriam, you can't do this to us.
I let the room read. Time equals quote 0.45 seconds. Quote slash greater. Then let dates do the work. Then I said, Theo was born in April 2025. That means he was conceived around summer 2024. Almost 3 years after Jonah was medically confirmed sterile. My mother made a sound like air leaving a tire. Celeste stared at the pages. For the first time since the birthday party, she looked less like an actress and more like a person standing at the edge of her own mistake.
These are the finalized documents, Nolan.
She whispered.
We need to sign them
It was a
today
strange
before the
defense
celebration
from a woman
continues.
who had announced my husband's supposed affair over cake. It was private, I said, until you used a child and a forged will to take my home. Nolan moved toward the door. Marisol did not stop. Him! She only said, Mr. Price, I would preserve your phone if I were you. He froze, then left.
It's just a small get-together, darling.
The volume
But
rose.
honestly, I don't know how much longer your
Mine did
grandmother
not.
has, and she
I
keeps
slid
asking
Nolan's
for you.
text message into the center of the table. I handled the witness. Part. One cousin actually stood up and stepped away. Aunt Denise covered her mouth. My mother stared at the table as if the wood might open and let her disappear. The story Celeste had built did not collapse all at once. It fell in sections like a house after the support. When the room finally went quiet, my mother spoke. Please, she said, not to Celeste, to me. Please don't send your sister to jail. She
Here
was
is the last
drowning.
will and
She
testament,
has
the
baby.
deed, and the
She
notarized
has
declaration.
nothing.
This sealed
There it
envelope
was,
contains the
oldest
final
arrangement
instructions.
in our family.
It's all straightforward, Miriam.
Celeste creates
Nolan
the
and I
fire.
just need your signature right here so we can
Miriam
move forward
is
with the
asked to
house.
control the smoke. I looked at Theo's closed bedroom door. I looked at my mother's shaking hands. I looked at Celeste, who had stopped shouting because the room had stopped feeding her. I could have called the police from that table. Marisol had already told me the options. Time equals, quote, 0.75 seconds. Quote slash.
It's all right,
I
honey.
could have let Celeste file
I
the
know you
fake
miss
will
him.
and then let the system crush her.
He
under
loved
weight.
this elephant.
Part of me wanted to.
There
not
they
the
are.
best part,
All right, let's
but
ring
a
the
real
bell.
part. Instead, I opened the small note I had written that morning.
Lillian,
Truth first,
we need to discuss the
kindness
terms of the
second,
trust
both
before we
on
eat.
purpose.
It's all right
I told
here.
them the condition, the fake will would not be filed. So Celeste and Nolan would sign written statements withdrawing every
You have no right
claim
to question
Jonah's
this. It is
estate.
legally binding. Paragraph 4,
Sycamore
subsection
Lane.
C. This
Every
handwriting is
social media
inconsistent with the
post
rest of the
implying
document.
Jonah fathered Theo or that I hid his wishes would be removed. Celeste would provide a one-page apology acknowledging that the claim was
You have to
false
protect
and
the
that
phone,
no
Nolan.
legal rights
It has
existed.
everything on it.
If
Don't let them
any of
near
those
it.
things failed, Marisol would take
The shares will be transferred upon settlement of the estate, provided all debts are cleared.
Miriam, please, you can't do this.
I was cruel. I said no. Cruel would be letting you teach your son that lies are inheritance. Then I said I would open an education fund for Theo later, controlled by me, untouchable by anyone else. That was the only moment Celeste looked truly ashamed. The paperwork was signed within 48 hours because consequences make people efficient. Nolan signed first, through an attorney he somehow found overnight. Celeste signed after trying to change 3 sentences and being told no 3 times. The post came down.
I had the lawyer
The
draw these up
apology
today.
arrived by email,
It protects everyone.
short and stiff,
Does it really,
but clear
Celeste?
enough to keep. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote slash greater than I printed it and placed it in the same fire safe as Jonah's card. Not because I wanted to reread it, but because some truths are worth storing where water cannot reach them. Probate closed 6 weeks later without contest. Sycamore Lane reminds mine, exactly as Jonah intended. Not because I thought loud, but because he had
Sweetheart, are you free this weekend?
My mother
It's
and
just
I
a small
did not
get-together, but it wouldn't be the same
for
without you
almost 2
there.
months.
You simply
When
must
she
come.
finally called, the sweetness was gone from her voice. I was grateful for that. Sweetness had become too expensive. She said she had been scared for Celeste. I said I knew. She said she had been wrong. Not sorry, not fully, but wrong. At the time, wrong was more than I expected. Celeste moved to a smaller apartment across town. Nolan disappeared into the kind of silence men choose when their
This is the
handwriting
last will and
becomes
testament.
evidence.
If you could just
Theo
sign here where
still
X is
received
marked.
birthday gifts from me.
Do I have to
delivered
do
through
this
my
right now?
mother at first, then
Miriam,
laid
if you
to
could
the
just sign
rector.
right here. It's just a
The
formality. It
education
protects
fund
everyone.
exists.
I don't know, Celeste.
Money
This feels
goes in
rushed.
every month. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote slash, greater than Celeste cannot touch it. Theo will not know for a long time why his aunt was careful that way, and maybe he never needs the ugliest version. Children deserve clean starts when adults make dirty choices. Jonah would have liked that sentence. He would have made me put the receipt in a folder. Living in the house after all of that was different. At first,
They should be
every
here
room
any minute
felt
now.
like a witness. The kitchen
I
had
hope they
heard
like the
me open
roast.
envelope.
It's a new recipe.
The dining room table had held the copies.
Before we begin
The
dinner,
porch had
Mother,
held Celeste's
I
soft
believe this
voice in her
folder contains the information
Grief
we've been
did not
waiting for.
vanish because the legal threat ended. It changed shape. Time equals, quote, 0.45 seconds.
This is the
Quote
valid will.
slash
I don't know what you
later,
think you
then.
found. These dates don't
Some
align,
nights
and
I
this
still
signature is
reached
clearly
across the
forged,
bed
Celeste.
before
Celeste, perhaps we should
remembering
review
there was
this
no
later.
one there. Some mornings I found one of Jonah's labels on a box and had to sit down because the ordinary neatness of him
Nolan,
hurt more
you
than the
must
humor
preserve the
had.
phone. Whatever
The
you
house
do,
was
don't let
mine
them
in a
take
way
it.
It had never been while he was alive. Not
Please
because he was
reconsider,
gone,
Miriam.
but
We have
because he
nowhere
had
else to
defended
go.
my right to stay.
I am simply
Time
following the
equals,
instructions
quote,
here.
0.45 seconds. Quote slash greater than I began finishing small projects. He had started. I repaired the loose railing. I planted rosemary under the kitchen window. I finally moved his coffee mug to the shelf with the others, then took it down the next day, then put it back again. Healing is not a straight line. It is a series of small permissions. I kept his sealed file organized exactly as Marisol had given it to me. Real will, deed, declaration, medical proof, Nolan's text, Celeste's withdrawal, apology, education fund paperwork. It is not a revenge binder. It is a boundary binder. There is a difference. Revenge says, I want you hurt. Boundaries say, you will not hurt me again with the same tool. That distinction saved me from becoming the story my family wanted to tell about me. People ask whether I forgive Celeste. I never know what they mean. If forgiveness means I no longer wake up wanting to punish her,
Are you
then
sure you
maybe.
can't reschedule?
If forgiveness
The children
means
are
I would
asking
sit
about you
alone in a
constantly,
room
and it
with
would just
her and
break
a
their
legal
grandmother's
document,
heart.
then no.
Look at the
Some
birthday
relationships do not end
boy.
with a slammed door. They end
He
with
loves
a
the
file
frosting.
cabinet and a lawyer's email address. My mother has begun seeing me as a person who can say no and still be loved. That has been difficult for her. It has been useful for me. Aunt Denise apologized in the grocery store one rainy afternoon when we went to tomatoes. She said she had believed the rain because nothing was allowed. I told her. Most rooms are. She cried. I hugged her because I wanted to. Not because peace required
As you
it.
can see, everything
for
is in
Theo,
order. The house is
He is
yours,
still
outright.
a little boy with blonde curls and a laugh.
I
that
can't
tilts
believe
his
she's really
whole body
gone.
forward.
I know this is
None of
difficult,
this is
Miriam,
his
but if you
fault.
just sign these house
When
rights
he's
over,
older,
we can make sure
he may
everything is
ask
settled.
questions. I hope by then Celeste has learned to answer some of them herself. If not, I will answer what is mine to answer. That his uncle Jonah was not his father, but he was a careful man who believed children should not pay for adult lives. That is why there is money waiting for school. That is why the house stayed where it belonged. That is why truth and kindness can exist in the same story, but only in that order. I
Here you go,
learned
sweetie.
that from Jonah, though I suspect he would deny teaching
Your dad
anything
loved
so
this one.
grand, he would say he just kept the paperwork. This is the part of the story where I want to speak directly to anyone sitting in a quiet house with a
Since we
folder
are all
they
finally
open.
together, I think it's important that we look at
Open
these
it.
documents
Read
regarding
the deed.
Grandma's will.
Read the will. Read the beneficiary form. Keep copies of the things that prove the life you built. Love is not weakness.
I told you, it's perfectly valid. My father signed it
Love
right here.
is
These witness signatures are clearly
protected by
forged,
it.
Celeste. And the
I
dates
used to
are
think
inconsistent.
Jonah's carefulness was anxiety dressed as organization. Now I understand it was tenderness. He knew that the world believes the loudest person
Nolan,
faster
listen
than
to
it
me.
believes the
You
grieving
have to
one.
preserve your
He
phone.
knew
Give
that
it to me.
widows are expected to be soft, generous, unsure,
The terms of the trust state that the house
grateful for
must be sold by the
He
end
knew
of the
that
month.
family can
Please,
turn
Miriam, you
alive
can't do
into
this.
a
Where are we supposed to
moral
go?
obligation if enough people repeat it around a dinner table. So he built me a way to be believed without begging. That is love in a language I did not understand until I needed it. My sister tried to use a birthday party as a courtroom. My mother tried to use a baby as a shield. Nolan tried to use a signature as a shortcut. None of them survived contact with the record. Proof beats a story every time. Jonah wrote, "He was right, but I would add one thing now. Proof beats a story only if you are brave enough to bring it into the room." That's my story.
This is the agreement we
One
discussed.
birthday candle,
It protects everyone.
one forged will, one sealed envelope.
Are you sure this is the right time, Celeste?
And a man who loved me enough to prepare the truth before anyone thought to ask. For it, if this reminded you to protect your name, your home, or your peace, take it as your sign. Share this with someone who needs it. Drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. There was one more piece of Jonah's preparation that I did not appreciate until later. Marisol showed me the memo he had written for her father. Not to court,
It just wouldn't
not
feel like a
even for
family
me,
gathering without you
but for
there.
the attorney who might
We're
one
all
day
counting
have
on
to
it,
explain his
especially since the
choices.
last time.
He wrote that my mother loved conflict only when it could be converted into obligation. He wrote that Celeste had asked too many questions about her. Then they continued before he was born. He wrote that Nolan once joked about how easy it was to make a signature look close enough if the person reading it wanted to believe. Jonah had not accused anyone directly. He had simply recorded patterns, dated them, and then made clean decisions around them. I sat in Marisol's office reading that memo and felt a strange mixture of gratitude and sadness.
This is the real will,
Gratitude
the original
because he
deed,
had seen
and the
me
notarized
coming.
declaration.
Sadness because he had
Everything you
carried
need is
that
in this sealed
suspicion
envelope.
quietly, so
If you
I
just
could
sign
keep
right here,
treating my
Miriam,
family as family
it
a
would make
little
things so
longer.
much easier for everyone
There is a loneliness
involved.
in being the person who notices risk before everyone else. Jonah had lived in that loneliness without making me live there with him. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote / greater. Then maybe that was why his death had felt so sudden to me even after the funeral. There were whole rooms inside him I was still discovering. I took a copy of the memo home and placed it in my notebook. Not because it was significant. The court did not care about family patterns, but I cared. Time equals, quote, 0.25 seconds. Quote slash, greater than I needed to know, he had not hidden from me out of distrust.
I understand this is
hidden from
difficult,
me
but
out of
signing this
mercy.
releases the house.
And when the
It's a clean
mercy
break for
expired,
everyone. I
he
need more
left
time
me
to
the
think
map.
about it.
During those 9 days, I also learned something about grief and money that people rarely say kindly. Money makes grief suspicious. The moment an estate has value, people begin translating sorrow into numbers. Who came to the hospital? Who brought casseroles? Who deserves something for being lonely?
This was your father's favorite when he was little. He wanted you to have it.
I watched my relatives do that translation in real time. The house became not a place Jonah and I built, but an amount that could solve Celeste's
I think we
debt.
need to look at the terms of the trust,
Theo
Lillian.
became not
Right
a
now.
baby, but a
Celeste,
friend.
this is hardly
My
the time
refusal
or
became
place.
Not self-protection, but greed. It would have been easy to hate all of them for that. Some days I did.
I told you, this is
But
the valid
other
will.
days,
These dates don't
working
align,
under
and the
fluorescent
signature is
lights in the
questionable.
emergency
You're just trying to
department,
undermine everything.
I remembered how fear makes people small. My mother was afraid of losing another daughter to debt and shame. Celeste was afraid
Nolan,
of being
you have to
exactly
preserve your
as
phone right
trapped
now.
as she
Give
had
it to
made
me.
herself. Nolan was afraid of consequences.
Please, you must
Fear
reconsider.
explains much,
We have nowhere else to
but it
go. The terms are
excuses less.
explicit. The property
Then
must be
people
vacated within
think
30 days of
I
the
could
settlement.
understand the fear without paying the bill for it. That sentence became another note on my refrigerator. I understand and know those words can stand together. They are not enemies. The day I realized that, my breathing changed. I stopped preparing to convince everyone. I stopped imagining the perfect sentence that would make them see me. I only had to prepare the record. Seeing me was their
Did you
work.
see the way she looked at Lillian?
Protecting myself
Right.
was mine.
And on his
I have
birthday,
replayed
too.
the birthday party
The
many
nerve.
times. Not because I want to suffer through it again.
I think you'll want to look this
but
over,
because
Lillian.
memory is how
It
I
concerns
test what
Theo's
I learned.
future.
I see the blue frosting. I see Celeste's hand shaking slightly when she lifted the paper. I see my mother's eyes asking me to make her fear disappear. I see Nolan by the refrigerator, already measuring exits. And I see myself at the sink, rinsing a fork while everyone waited for me to become the woman they had become. That is the path I seek. Not the accusation, not the forged will, not the numbers.
Oh, honey, you
I
simply
keep
have
the
to come
fork
this
in my
weekend.
hand and the
Your father
quiet
is
in
just
my
beside
body.
himself, and you
Do
know
not
how his
always
heart
know
gets when
you
he's
are strong
stressed.
when the
We
moment
miss you.
arrives. Sometimes strength feels like nothing more than refusing to give a performance to people who bought tickets.
This folder contains
to
the
your
proof,
pain.
Mother.
Sometimes
You
it
can't
is
deny it
walking
anymore.
out, opening the envelope and making the call. Sometimes it is letting a lawyer speak when your family expected tears. Sometimes it is choosing a
This is
college
the
fund
valid
for a
will. My
child
mother
after
signed it.
proving the
It is
lie that
clearly
used him.
forged.
That is
Look
not
at this
weakness.
signature right here.
That is discipline. That is how a quiet woman remains whole. After the dinner, when the room emptied
Nolan,
and the house
listen to
went
me.
quiet,
You have to preserve the
mother
phone.
found me on the
Whatever you do,
porch.
do not let them touch it.
Marisol
Go,
was
now.
putting documents into her briefcase.
The terms of the agreement state that the
Celeste had
property
locked
must be
herself
sold
in the
within 90
bathroom.
days.
Aunt
Miriam,
Denise was
please, you
speaking
can't
in
do this
hushed
to us. Where
tones
will we
to the
go?
neighbor. My mother stood beside me and looked at the driveway instead of at my face. I thought if you gave her something, everyone could survive, she said. It was the closest thing to honesty she had offered all week. I told her everyone would still survive. It just would not be at my expense. She flinched at that, but she did not argue. For once, she had no better sentence. Then she asked whether I had known about Jonah's medical procedure. I said not until that morning. Her eyes filled again, and this time I believed
Happy
the tears
birthday,
were not
Theo.
performance.
I thought this would be
He
the
must have
perfect
loved
time
you
to
very
finalize the
much,
custody agreement,
she
Nolan.
said.
Are you serious right now,
I almost
Celeste?
said yeah. Instead I said, he respected me enough to protect my choices. My mother looked confused by the difference. Maybe she will understand it one day. Maybe not. What mattered was that I understood it now. Love without respect becomes another kind of control. Jonah's preparation did not tell me what to do. It gave me the tools to effect. That is why I play love and not strategy. Strategy wins
Oh,
over
darling,
me.
you simply must come this weekend.
let's you
It
leave
just
the
wouldn't be
room still
Christmas without
yourself.
you.